Assalamu alaikum viewers, hope for best of your health and iman. Today's topic is affinities of cyanobacteria. Affinities of cyanobacteria means how the cyanobacteria is similar to the other organism, mostly the bacteria and the algae, because it is classified like this, that they are near to bacteria and little bit far away from algae. So it has some characteristics which are common with the bacteria and some characteristics which are common with the algae. So in this way we are gonna discuss what are the affinities of the bacteria with the cyanobacteria with bacteria and algae. Okay, the first of all they were considered most near to the bacteria because they have many characteristics like prokaryotic characteristics, prokaryotic cell structure, its reproduction, its physiological role. So these things make it similar to the bacteria. So it has been classified by by Wilhelm, by Ford. They have been classified them in different classes. Wilhelm put it in, near the Archaeophyta, and Ford said that it has two major groups, one is Cynoschizophyta and the second one is Bacterioschizophyta. So it said that if it is Cynoschizophyta, so it means it is near to the algae or have the characteristics similar to the algae, and if it is Bacterioschizophyta, it is linked to the bacteria or similar to the bacteria characteristics. And it has said that the both groups are similar to a little bit linked to each other, not similar, is little bit linked to each other with because of the transitional forms which have their bacteria, and the algae have the characteristics, but algae is the most primitive than the bacteria. So it is a little history about the cyanobacteria, how the blue green algae is classified, and if it is more similar to the algae, so what point they forced on that, because it is have non-vascular cryptograms, like the non-vascular vascular cryptograms, non-vascular tissue. So it is similar to the algae in this case, and I have so many similarities with the bacteria too. And if it is similar to the algae, so what is it is more similar to the red algae, Rhodophyta. So let's have a look one by one what are the affinities of the blue green algae to the bacteria as well as algae. Okay, affinities to the bacteria. Affinities to the bacteria, for the affinities to the bacteria, it has mucilaginous sheath. Both groups have mucilaginous sheath around their cells, so that's why it is similar to the bacteria. And the construction and its formation of the nature of the cell wall, that how the cell wall is formed and what are the components of the cell wall, is one more characteristics which make them both groups are similar to each other. The third one is the lack of the nuclei, because they do not have the true nucleus or the true plastid, so their nuclei or the nuclear material is scattered or the present in the center of the cytoplasm, or maybe scattered in the cytoplasm. So this is more the similar characteristics between the both. The next is the nitrogen fixation. Nitrogen fixation, both bacteria and the cyanobacteria, they both do the nitrogen fixation, a big process. And reproduction, if they have reproduction, so they have the reproduction through the bind fission or the Achenides formation. They do not have sexual reproduction. Both the groups do not have sexual reproduction. Both the groups do not have the motile cells, as we have discussed already many times. So in these ways it is that bacteria, blue green algae is similar to the bacteria. The one more is they have parasexuality characteristics, the one transduction which is present in the blue green algae as well as in the bacteria. The last is the specific pigments. Specific pigments, they both have the specific pigments which are the phycobilins, and in the case of the cyanobacteria, blue green algae, and in the case of bacteria, they have the bacterial chlorophyll. So these are the specific or the special pigments which are present in both of the groups. So these are some characteristics which make the blue green algae or the cyanobacteria similar to the bacteria. Next is the affinities to the algae. So how these cyanobacteria have its affinities to the algae similar somewhat to the algae. It has some characteristics like the same. The mucilaginous sheath have both groups, algae as well as cyanobacteria have the mucilaginous sheath, but the presence of the same pigments, same compounds like fructose, glucose, lactose, these are the compounds which make them similar to each other. So this is the characteristics. Muronic acid, uronic acid. So these are the chemicals which are the same, xylone, xylose, glucose. So these are the characteristics, all the pigments which compounds which are the present in the algae as well as in the cyanobacteria. If we say about the phycobilins, as the both groups have the phycobilins, but what are the phycobilins? They have the phycocyanin and the phycoerythrin. So these two types, both the blue and the red pigment, which are the phycocyanin and phycoerythrin respectively, are the pigments which are present in algae as well as in the cyanobacteria. Then cyanophycean starch and the Floridian starch. It means that the blue-green algae have the cyanophycean starch, which is much more similar to the Floridian starch of the red algae. So this is one more characteristics, that they are similar to each other. The next is they are their thylakoids. In their thylakoid, their pigments are singly and separately present, so they are not organized like players or the one over the other like the modern. So they have the similar characteristics, that their pigments are in thylakoids, their pigments are separated and singly present. Absence of the motile cells. No motile cells are present in both algae and cyanobacteria. So these are the 4-5 similarities or the common characteristics which have the four groups. The algae have some few differences with the blue-green algae. So let's have a look one by one some of the differences between the both. The one is the true nuclei, that algae have the true nuclei. Cyanobacteria do not have a true nuclei, as we discussed early, but algae have a true nucleus. It has a true sexual reproduction. You see, we do not we learned that cyanobacteria do not have never ever have a true sexual reproduction, but algae have a true sexual reproduction. Then eukaryotic organelles. Algae have a eukaryotic organelles like mitochondria, Golgi complex, endoplasmic reticulum. All of these double membrane eukaryotic organelles are present in the algae, but these all organelles are not present in cyanobacteria. So these are some differences on the basis of which it can be differentiated from each other, algae and cyanobacteria. But you see, with the bacteria, cyanophyceae do not have any differences. Cyanobacteria and bacteria, they do not have any differences, but algae and cyanobacteria, they have a little bit a few differences. So I hope it will be helpful for you. Thank you so much for coming on my channel. Don't forget to like, share, subscribe and comment. Make sure to follow me on Instagram. Bye bye. Allah Hafiz.